I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead.
Okay. Councilwoman Chapman.
Here.
Councilman Cookingham.
Here.
Councilman Deegan.
Here.
Councilman Reifenberg.
Here.
Supervisor Albrecht.
Here.
Town Attorney Emily Swenson.
Here.
All present.
I'd like a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no public hearings. I'd like a motion to accept special town board meeting from 8/12/25.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All official correspondence is on file in the town clerk's office. We have no presentations. At this time, I'd like to motion to open up the public comment portion of the meeting for agenda items only, 3 minutes per person.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to get up and speak?
Gary Vader, Saw Point Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. On a question on a couple of things. You have a political sign proposal, talk, or whatever here tonight. I see a lot of signs that are not on private properties. And I also have a question as an apartment project. Are they open just to put signs on? Or do you have to get the, because if you got a number of people there, they all don't have the same opinion. So do the signs go on their porch or does it go? That's one question. And the owner of the project doesn't live in Pleasant Valley. Does he have the same freedom of speech for Pleasant Valley? Okay. Dog park. Dogs in Bower Park, but the dog park itself, I've witnessed them, seen them, been in them when I had dogs. They're not what we want. The Sister City thing, that is quite interesting. Recently, in my 5th year of cleaning up the cemetery on Fox Run, there are 4 Peter's graves on that piece. They are buried, the Peter relatives are buried in a number of locations around the valley and in other towns. But it's interesting that he was, and I'm not sure of his direct association with the ones buried in that cemetery, but we recently just found one of his stones and it has been repaired and put back up there. And thought I had pictures of them, but yeah, and there they are. These stones, many of them have been repaired. You see cracks. This one's 3-part cracks. costs about $100 a stone to repair them. I have spent so far over $2,000 repairing that cemetery. Haven't asked for money yet, but I'm running out, so thank you.
Okay, I'd like a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, new business discussion. The dogs in Bower Park. Wow, we have an issue. And obviously, I'm not talking to the people in the room because they're not the ones with the dogs out there. First of all, we have an e-bike issue. We have a whole lot of kids riding e-bikes in the middle of the soccer field. So that is another thing that cannot happen anymore at Bower Park with the kids playing soccer. We don't need ruts in it. We don't need the grass being pushed on like that. The e-bikes do not belong on there. They can stay on the driveway only, and that's it. The dog issue is really out of control. I can see what's going on there, and I don't think people truly understand how clear it is. So this is the deal. We made it so that you could go into the driveway. You can go from North Avenue down the walkway or driveway into where you park, and you can walk out to Ravine and back with your dogs, not on the soccer fields. None of the soccer fields are to be used for dogs, okay? So I've spared everybody tonight, but the next time I'm going to have pictures, and I have pictures, and then I'm going to put them up on the screen. So if you don't want your picture of you and your dog walking where you're not supposed to, please stay off the field. I don't need little Sally playing, and I'm using that name, I have no idea who a Sally is here, but running for soccer and then coming up with, something of dog poop or something else in her mouth that doesn't belong there. It's not funny. I do not want the dogs on the soccer field. That's a law we made, we all agreed upon it, and you have to abide. And lately, it's been getting worse and worse. So I would appreciate everybody abiding. There's signs at the openings of the gates that say, no dogs beyond this point. We put them up purposely, and everybody is acting like they don't see them. They have to see them. So, okay,
Just a thought on that too.
yes.
I just asked Dan quick, and I totally agree with everything you stated. And that was one thing, I know it was Dan and I who stated that we wanted to have the dogs, and you allowed us to do that. But we also both stated that I thought we came up with a fine or something, because, unfortunately, not everybody, same thing with e-bike, you're gonna have the good people. So, that's not right for them to be penalized. But the ones which we have pictures in that, I thought we were gonna try to go after to a degree, because then it's not right for a couple, bad
Well,
eggs, no matter where we are, that's all.
We are.
Okay,
I
I
thought
just-
I'd give everybody
Right, no,
a
a chance. No,
to
I
realize
agree with
that the
that.
next time the pictures are going up,
And
and
fines can get brought.
nobody's going to keep their mouths shut. They're all going to tell me who's the people that are walking on the field.
Right, okay,
So
that's all.
then we can go from there,
Yeah,
okay?
So just
And
to-
there's people that actually abide by it, by the way. They come in from Ravine, or they come in from North Avenue, from Village Park, or wherever, and they walk their dogs down, and you can see them going through, because it takes still shots, and you can tell people are actually there are people abiding, but there are a whole lot of people that are not.
are you seeing them without leashes too?
Yes, but not as bad.
Not as bad.
They mainly have the leash on.
So just
Yeah.
one thought, I think the one thing we need to clean up, this is not giving anyone an excuse. We made this very clear before, 100% agree, like, it's time to fine. Maybe you're being nice, giving them one last warning. I do think we need to clarify, because prior we had rules and people were not paying attention. They took the signs down, right? I think we need to move the signs that are at the very beginning off of North and off of Ravine. They say no dogs. That's not true. Dogs
Yeah,
are allowed there. I think it's confusing. We got to move those
You know
in.
something? I saw that today.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I completely agree with you.
It-
They just need to stay on the fence. the
They need to be
fences, yeah.
around, but like, they're allowed to walk the dogs in. That's not why people aren't
Right.
listening. But
I
like, I'm
complete-
giving you one last chance, folks.
Right, I completely agree with you,
But-
yes. Yeah,
Alright.
thank you. Okay, Pleasant Valley Weekend Update, Councilwoman Chapman. I was-
I don't even know what to say. So first, I just wanted to say thank you to the committee. Everybody's been busting their buns to make this happen. We have a very long list of sponsors that have been generously donating. That's going to make this happen. We are currently planning around spending around $22,837, give or take. The town's going to be covering the tents, the fireworks, and obviously the sheriff's as usual. The recreation department is going to be covering Jessica Lynn's performance. That leaves us about $29.87 short. I am respectfully requesting that the board approve additional funding of $4,000 to help with this shortfall and provide a cushion for any unexpected expenses. And going forward, we put a line in the budget now for Pleasant Valley Weekend to just Pleasant Valley Weekend to cover things like this, because this is quite an expense, and it has been really hard for the committee to raise funds. And let's face it, the times have changed where people are not opening their wallets as easy as they used to. We have wonderful sponsors so far, have been very generous, but we can't always guarantee those. So going forward, I do request that we put a cushion in right now, and going forward with the budget, which budget season is obviously, upcoming, that we do a new line for Pleasant Valley Weekend and just Pleasant Valley Weekend. So, and if Nikki is more than welcome to come up and go over the event schedule that we have here that she created. Just to go over real briefly what we are going to have, we're going to have tons of activities that the committee has come up with. Nikki has thrown together this very, very quickly, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, so I agree with Jen. We definitely need a Pleasant Valley Weekend line for next year, because it can't just, if we're going to make it a town event, there needs to be a town budget for it. And if we can get sponsors, that's amazing. These three ladies over here have done a fantastic job of raising money, and we couldn't have done it without them. So I just want to say thank you. But yeah, we can't rely on that every year. So every year I'm going to come to you and say, we're 5,000 short, or we're 15,000 short, or next year maybe we have 10,000 extra. I have no idea. But yeah, if we're going to make it a town event, we have to have town money for it. If you see your wonderful event schedule in front of you, it's going to be a jam-packed weekend full of fun. The way that we have it set up this year is we have a youth zone, so a kids tent and a toddler area. We have a teen zone, we have the seniors in the pavilion, and then we have main stage entertainment, which is the stage that's in the center of the baseball field. So you'll see that we have things like Birds of Prey booked, a magician, we have candy bingo for the kids, we have the Hay and Owls playing, we have a senior paint and sip, which should be a lot of fun. Senior bingo, line dancing, a DJ foam party, obviously Jessica Lynn. We decided to add a little touch up for the kids and do a touch a truck and a Cars movie showing on Friday to go along with the car show. And then Sunday, parade, bubble bus. We have a bunch of performances by Cheryl Lynn's and the karate studio, and then a cornhole tournament, which Mary Myers is handling, which is pretty exciting. And Rec is gonna do Backyard Olympics Family Edition, so I hope to see every single one of you signed up with your family as a team for that. Other than that, everybody's been working really hard. It's been very difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but lots of fighting at our meetings, but I feel like we're getting it done. So we're excited. 2 weeks to go. No sleep for 2 weeks. Does anybody have any questions?
Anybody?
I just want to say thank you. I know it's kind of been a crazy year trying to figure out how to make this all happen, and it's not easy, and I just appreciate it.
Thank you, much appreciated. I think it would also help too if we, as we're working on policies and procedures, kind of coming up for running an event like this with the committee, just having policies written down for that so that we know how to do this next year, moving forward. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Just a question to Councilwoman. Do we need a resolution, or what's the plan to get money to whatever line? Like,
We haven't gotten that far. We were waiting to see, we're hopefully gonna have enough sponsors, but we're still waiting for some funds to come in. But that's why I'm requesting the $4,000 cushion, just in case we don't have it. You know, we do have, other people that have committed to sending them in, but we haven't received them yet, so we're just a little nervous. And we do have people booked that need to be paid. So, I don't know if we need to do it by resolution. That would kind of fall on Emily to,
So you think there's a chance that you could actually get, the short could be less than the 2987 if other people?
yes, it
Yeah?
could be.
More
It could be.
donations. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a safety net then.
Yeah, it's really just a safety cushion at this point. But we're afraid that if we don't have that,
Yeah.
you know, we have people to pay. We have such a huge lineup for the 2.5 days that, you know, we're just a little nervous that with such a short amount of time that they've had to work and such a short amount of time left, like I said, we do have people that have committed, but we haven't received them yet, so.
I'm sure raising the 19,850 was pretty hard. So kudos.
They've
Thanks.
really busted
It's
their.
hard work.
their
Fundraising's
butts.
hard.
So to do a budget modification, normally we have a resolution and it says where the money is coming from and what budget line it's going to. And
Right.
so that's, you know, that's the optimal way to do a budget
Right.
transfer. Okay.
So just to tie off on that other thing, I guess Supervisor Albrecht, is that something in terms of the signs? Is that something that Todd can do? Moving the dog signs back into the park? He'll move those? Okay.
I was like, what?
Got it.
I was very confused.
Can I stay on Bauer for a second? Any updates on the boulder?
On the boulders?
Yeah.
I just robbed.
He's got, we still got him? Cool,
Yeah,
awesome.
we have them, we
Nice.
just gotta
Cool,
put them down.
great.
Okay, old business discussion, Katie basketball court update.
Yeah.
Councilman Deegan.
So, if anybody signed up for the updates, you can see it on our website. If you go to community, there's the gallery, for Katie. But the weather could not be better right now. But the retaining wall is 95% done. We're just waiting for the caps. They backfilled it. They got all the sonotubes in. So at the end of next week, all the fence posts should go in. We should have the posts for the basketball hoops all in. That's going to be next week's project, and then grading, and then the following week is going to be asphalt. So, where am I on the calendar? So, barring any bad weather, because they're doing great, they're ahead of schedule. So all the fence posts, the basketball poles, they should all be in by the 12th. And then paving should be done, paving and concrete is hopefully going to be done by the 19th. And if they're on that schedule and we're there, then there's a chance that we might actually be striping the basketball court on the 26th. So, which means that this whole project could be done by the middle of October, which would be pretty awesome. So far, so good. They're doing good work. So,
It looks nice. Okay, 13B, political signs, private property reminder.
oh yeah.
Councilman Deegan.
So, I just wanted to give a reminder of the rules and acknowledge the candidates that are running and acknowledge the last race that we had. So I've been involved in 2 races in this town, one when we didn't have the rule being followed and one that we did. The last election in '23, it was great. Everybody followed the rules. So I just want to congratulate and again thank the candidates for running, but also ask that they and the committee chairs follow the rules. There's a couple that I've seen from folks that I don't think know the Pleasant Valley rule. There's one on I think North Ave. I think everybody's probably seen it. I'll get that one taken care of. But it's private property only. I think everybody appreciated that the last time, so hopefully we follow that. It's nice to know that we have races, they get competitive, but we still follow the rules and we all still live in the same town. And on that note, I had a comment. So we cleaned up the political signs, but now I'm starting to notice private business signs going all over the place. At the top of West Road, that area used to have political signs. Well, we went from the one bad to the other. So I don't know who enforces those, but I don't think they should be there either, because that's not fair to all the businesses that pay for billboards, right? So we should do something on that. They're holding up the space.
With that, I totally agree with the political signs and stuff, but driving to school and that, are we putting political signs for people that are actually running in town? Because I see signs in Poughkeepsie for people that are running for this town. I see signs in LaGrange for people that are running in this town, that aren't. I thought we would probably just keep our signs for people running for different positions should kind of stay in town. Because in Hyde Park and Salt Point.
It's
and
not
others,
really worth it for us to try to
it kinda just blows
advertise
my
somewhere
mind.
else,
That's kind of
right?
their own money that they're wasting,
Right,
so
you
we
know,
can't
it
really
just
police
blows-
other towns.
that they
That's
don't know
just
the
their own
town
money that
lines.
they're wasting putting in other towns that don't live here.
Yeah, I don't think you
Just
can
kind of
enforce
blows
that.
my mind, town line.
Yeah, we have to be sure that we treat all signs equally regardless of the content, right?
Right.
So business signs,
Political
our
sign.
candidates,
Right.
other candidates, whatever, should all
Other
be treated the
races.
same.
The top of West Road is the only one that I've seen to be, everything else seems to be compliant besides the one on North Ave. But on the question of, this is a legal question, but I think when it comes to like an apartment complex, I think that's private property owned by the apartment owner, right? So if the
Right.
apartment owner allows it,
Correct.
it can go on their property.
Right.
But the other question was, if you're a tenant in there, can you put it there? You probably put it on your front porch. I don't know the rule of that. But is that your
Yeah.
property?
I think you have to ask the landlord
If you're allowed
you
to?
can actually put the
Yeah.
sign up on the property. And usually there's maintenance people at these places that, that are on site. So when they see it, if they don't want it there, they'll take it down,
Right.
right? Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's a lot of people that work there that are on site that can, take care of that
I think
issue.
the rule is property owner, though.
Yeah,
Right,
property
it's
owner.
whoever
I
owns the
mean,
property, it's their
property-
right. I don't think you
Property
can
owner
enforce that.
doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
property
the
owner,
property that's
right.
being discussed had signs on it last year.
Correct.
And nobody had any issues with it. And it
Yeah.
fell in line with everything, so.
Yeah.
There's also
And
an
it-
apartment complex on 44 here that puts out certain signs every year, and nobody's had an issue with it. So
Yeah.
I would say, as long as it's the property owner, and they have permission, it should be fine.
Yeah, right.
My sign has permission, I just haven't put it there.
So how do we clean up the business signs at the top of West Road? Is that something zoning just goes and
Yeah,
grabs?
the zoning goes and takes it
Zoning.
down.
Well, they've been there for a long
They-
time. They've been there for months and months and months.
Okay.
It started with one, and now there's a whole,
All right,
you know.
I'll mention it to
yeah.
zoning tomorrow.
You guys got a firewood.
Okay. 13C, follow-up discussion declaring Porto Comaro, Italy, the sister city of the town of Pleasant Valley, and honoring Lieutenant
Unless,
Edgar Nelson Peters.
yeah, so I had done a short presentation on Edgar a few months ago. I met with Mike Schroeder a couple days ago. He flew over to Italy actually yesterday, and we've been discussing this more of how to honor, honestly, somebody that most people have never heard of, but has like an incredible story. And over in Italy, they've have a monument built because of his story. They have an exhibit in their town about a resident of Pleasant Valley. And it's a crazy story of how he was shot down, forced down. They took care of his body, and then he was moved and tombed in a military cemetery over there. And then finally, his body finally made it back and is buried here in Pleasant Valley. So it's like a crazy story. There's like a 60-page article with all the history online. I'm going to try getting it on the website. But most people, when you talk to them, don't know anything about this story. but they're so excited in Italy about this. So they had written a letter and did a proclamation asking us to create a bond between us and this little town and village over there. So this is the first step to it, is this resolution that we're introducing tonight that I don't see not passing. And it's basically entering into a ceremonial sister city relationship with Porto Camaro, Italy, but also I'm recommending that September 4th of each year be recognized as Lieutenant Edgar Nelson Peters Day. That's the day that he was shot down in World War II. I think we can bring some light to this. And also, we're working on, and if anybody wants to help, he's actually over there right now discussing stuff with them and visiting. There's a representative coming and spending Christmas in the town of Pleasant Valley. That's how much they are into this. So we're planning a ceremony, hopefully for Memorial Day weekend next year. Not the ceremony that happens usually on Monday, but something separate over the weekend. And we want to make it kind of a kickoff to the 250th anniversary of the forming of our country and the Revolutionary War, but also honor Edgar and his sacrifice. We're planning on, some of the officials from Italy are planning on coming over here to be a part of that ceremony. They're probably watching right now, even though it's super early in the morning. I already spoke to Suzanne, who's the chair of the Historical Society, and there's been discussions of them loaning us artifacts. They collected a bunch of stuff over there and loaning us stuff to create an exhibit here in town, which would hopefully be open to the public and be kind of shown off on that same ceremony and date. And then the hope would be that we could work with partnering maybe with somebody like the fire department or something like that, where we could go and have an American meal with these Italian officials, elected officials over there. That's what they kind of did for the congregation that went over there, is they had a big meal and just got to know each other. So I just think it's a cool thing, a good way to honor a local resident with a crazy story, and also just do something good. So more to come on that. He'll have more information when he gets back from Italy. We're reconvening in probably like November or December, so hopefully you guys will support this resolution.
Okay, 13D, follow-up discussion in regards to Valleydale and Water and Sewer District.
Yes, so
Councilman Reifenberg.
April 7th, 2025. I guess I'll start with this. April 7th of 2025, this town board sent many letters to many elected officials that are above us here, asking for some kind of assistance with the Forest Valley neighborhood known as Valleydale. They have central water and they have a sewer system. Supervisor Albrecht organized about a month prior to that get together here at Town Hall, where we invited all those residents to have a Q&A and presentation by the organization that runs that. When you go up there and you start talking to those residents, the costs have just gotten out of control, basically, and the concern from the town standpoint is we don't want it to become a neighborhood where people either can't sell their homes or people don't want to move there because it's gotten so out of control. So I wrote up letters that came before the board. We unanimously supported it, and we sent them to all these people. So my first question is, we asked them in these letters, please help, please contact us, and let's talk. Did anybody actually ever respond to any of the letters?
No.
Did the letters actually get sent out? Okay. So I have a problem with that, for the fact that you have a town board, and I'm kind of putting this out there because it's important for the residents to know, because we get a lot of flack, and rightfully so. If we're not doing something that you disagree with, you should hold us accountable. But I want to make it very clear, we sent letters on behalf of the entire town board, signed by all of us, to Assemblymember Dee Dee Barrett, the Governor Kathy Hochul, the County Executive Sue Serino, Jonathan Churins, the Executive Director who manages the Water Authority over there, the County Legislator Deidre Houston, Ryan Travelpiece, who's also one of our county legislators, Senator Kristen Gillibrand, Congressman Pat Ryan, Senator Michelle Hinchy, Senator Chuck Schumer. All those people, we took the time to put these letters together to send them to them. Obviously, some of those people will not be personally responding to us, but the fact that we haven't even gotten an acknowledgement from a staff member for a pretty serious deal going on there, I'm just putting that out there, and we have to figure out as a board of what we're going to do moving forward. But I think the residents of Pleasant Valley should probably be outraged with the fact that your town board unanimously can't get a hold of these people. So I understand your frustration, because I doubt you can get a hold of anybody, and we should hold these people accountable. So that was the whole point of me putting this on the agenda, to come back around. I will hopefully figure out something to propose to the board by the next meeting. It's a shame that not one of those people at least responded, but that's all I have.
I have spoken to Jonathan Currens myself, but he didn't reach out to me, I reached out to him. He is saying that they're not going to they don't need to do any further work right now, and they would not do more work to add on top of the current bond. So he wants to wait until that bond is done before they do anything new. They don't want to put a bond on top of another one. And I asked him what they were trying to do about going for money, and he stated to me that they can't get any money for it because the water's not bad enough. So unlike our corridor here in Pleasant Valley, on 44, we have PFOAs, PFASs, all this stuff in our water. They don't have that up at Valleydale. So for them to go for grants is almost impossible, because nobody wants to give grants to, anything that doesn't have water that's bad enough. I think you know that too, right? Yeah. So, okay. Resolutions. I would like a motion for Resolution 900 of 2025, resolution to declare Porto Comaro, Italy, the sister city of the town of Pleasant Valley, and honoring Lieutenant Edgar Nelson Peters.
So moved.
Second.
Can I
Sure.
think just in honor of Edgar, can I read this?
Yeah,
And I'm
sure.
going to mispronounce the names.
I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, no, you're saying it way better than I
All
did,
right.
but I think this is a resolution we should take a minute to actually read.
Sure.
So whereas on September 4th, 1944, United States Army Air Force Lieutenant Edgar Nelson Peters of the town of Pleasant Valley gave his life in, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, and I know, Migliandolo near Potocomaro, Italy, while serving as a pilot during World War II. And whereas the people of Migliandolo, in the spirit of profound respect and humanity, provided a burial service for Lieutenant Peters and undertook the solemn duty of ensuring that his personal effects were returned to his family in America. And whereas on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of his sacrifice, September 4th, 2024, an official commemorative ceremony was held and a monument was erected in honor of Lieutenant Peters near Potocomaro, Italy, ensuring that his name and his service will be remembered for generations to come. And whereas, in recognition of this bond of shared remembrance, the mayor of Potocomaro has extended an invitation to the town of Pleasant Valley to establish a twinning relationship, forever linking our two communities in friendship and mutual respect. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Pleasant Valley, New York, United States, hereby declares that the community of Potocomaro, Italy, village of Migliandolo, shall be recognized as our sister city, joined with us in honoring the memory of Lieutenant Edgar Nelson Peters. And be it further resolved that the town of Pleasant Valley shall commemorate September 4th of each year as Lieutenant Edgar Nelson Peters Day in solemn remembrance of his valor, his sacrifice as enduring legacy as a native son of Pleasant Valley who gave his life in the cause of freedom.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I have two items for special consideration. I'd like a motion to add 15A to the agenda for permission to the town clerk to advertise for the highway. And should I do them individually?
They have to be individual. So
Okay.
I'll make a motion to allow that on the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like a motion to add 15B, just do this one first? Okay. I would like a motion to have permission for the town clerk to advertise for Highway Department MEO driver.
Just a logistical thing. Do we have, and it's a legal question, do we have to accept this formally before doing that, or?
It doesn't have to be before it, but we should accept the resignation, just put
Okay.
that in the minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would we accept it by name?
Do we have like an employee number or?
No, but it does.
It's okay, I think just use the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it
So I make a
matters for
motion to accept, unfortunately, the resignation of Kenny Hinch from the Highway Department as of September 11th, 2025.
Second.
them. All in favor?
Aye. I make a motion to allow the town clerk permission to advertise for a Highway Department MEO driver.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I'd like a motion, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
With that, aren't we down another person from
Yeah,
last meeting?
that's gotta be done,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, I'd like a motion to add 15B to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I would like to make a motion to, for approval of sponsorships for Pleasant Valley Weekend. Peckham, Johnson Surveying, JK&D Properties, Bonded, Snow Fountain, Hudson Aroma, Laura Pettit, is that it? Williams Lumber, Swartz and
Patton.
what is it?
Patton.
Patton, okay, I'm sorry. DDS and Jason Patrick's.
So I just want to clarify that the town put together packages that were advertised to everybody that sponsors could then purchase for select items to get in receipt of paying for that package. I just want to make sure from Emily, we can do this just without a resolution.
Yeah, it's fine. We did a resolution for the sponsorship program, so we're just recognizing, yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve those sponsorships for Pleasant Valley Weekend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And at this time, I'd like a motion to open the public comment portion of the meeting for any business for 3 minutes per person.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to get up and speak?
One thing Gary Veter, Salt Point Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. This body, town board, is run by Robert's Rules of Order. It would be nice when you get motions to ask for the ayes and the nays. Otherwise, to me, sitting out here says, this has all been done. Everybody's gonna say yes, so we don't have to vote. You should follow the rules that are prescribed to run by. Sorry, but that's the way I feel. You had one proposal, I don't know how far or where it's going, but maintenance of houses and lawns. That opens up a whole bunch of, I understand where you're going and I appreciate it, because there are houses that need maintenance. But our building department, and I assume that would come under the building department, or you're gonna have to have a whole new department, is almost underwater with their workload now. To add something like this on top of it, it's gonna make it real difficult with the staff numbers, not the people, the numbers of staff to accomplish this. And on top of that, a lot of comments I've heard are people that don't mow the lawn. There's now such a thing as pollinators, and that's encouraged. So this is where you get into a lot of fingers that you might not want to get into. Okay, this next one, those are just thoughts. This next one, our ambulance service. I came here in July, I think, and I kind of complained about an $1,800 bill for the ambulance that took me to the hospital the first time in 60 years living here that I called an ambulance. It was necessary. It was life or death. And I mentioned this at that July meeting, and Supervisor Albrecht said that don't worry, insurance will pay for it. Guess what? If you're on Medicare and is it Empress or Empress? I had our local ambulance with one Empress employee. They met halfway and rode with the ambulance, okay? If you're on Medicare and get them, they refuse to bill Medicare. Let that sink in. Because I carry a very expensive supplement to my Medicare, but if they don't bill it, my supplement will not even look at it.
I'll tell you what, Gary, bring it all into me, and I will work with Empress on it. I've done this before.
Well, the last time you told me they'll cover it, and
I will work with them.
because I got another bill, and I'm not paying the damn thing. Take it out of the money that my taxes also pay to them.
Just bring it into me, and I will work with them.
Well, thank you.
Anyone else?
Before we,
Sure.
can I be recognized?
Go ahead.
Just because public comment, and it was on the agenda. To Mr. Veter's point, just something to think about. I don't know if you all saw the news, but the only other competition to the people we partner with is being bought by the people we partner with. So the problem that the 20-something municipalities have in this county now is that there's a monopoly, and it's just not going to get any easy. Like, if you look at the bills that the other towns are paying as well, we're all kind of in the same boat. So we really need to start pushing folks that might have some more input into this, but there's it's a multifaceted issue. I mean, the fact that EMTs aren't considered, I forget what the word they use, required or needed, and the fire department is crazy. Essential workers, yeah, they're not essential. So that's why the town board has to deal with getting an ambulance to your house, but the fire department isn't the ones that hire somebody like Empress. It blows my mind that we're the ones dealing with this stuff when we have no idea any of that stuff. That's not what we know. So this is something that I've been thinking about. I got the data from, thankfully, County Legislature Houston. Just to follow up, she got us the data like 2 days later. You can see the call volume, and the county's testing this thing out with a fly car or whatnot, but it's not really making much of a difference so far. But, you know, I think if the fire departments all really have to come together and brainstorm and talk about maybe a centralized kind of solution to this. I know like other counties have done it. I don't know if it works. I don't know anything about this, but it seems to work down south. They do everything by the county, it seems. We're in a problem because when our contract renews, we're kind of stuck with, there's one option. So I have the same concerns you have, not the one about the bill. That's something we have to figure out, but it's not going to get any better. So I think we need to be having conversations with the local commissioners who are elected officials. I mean, they're the ones, maybe we need to go to a full-time paid staff. I don't know, that's outside my realm, but the firehouse and us need to start talking about this again and working on a solution. And then we need to start holding the county of, you know, when you start adding up all the bills of the 20-something municipalities are paying to the same company, it's a lot of money. So, yes, this is a problem. It's not going to get any better unless we get ahead of this now and start working with other people. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to make a difference because we have to go with whatever contracts come in. If there's only one person in town, we don't have any options. So, I know you and I have had meetings with the commissioners in the past. Maybe we should cycle back through that because there was kind of an idea and a plan.
I think
We're about where we are when we were having that
Yeah, I
plan.
think we should, because full-time paid is not the answer.
Yeah,
It's so outrageously expensive. The
So-
next thing you know, we'll be a LaGrange.
that's up to her.
Go ahead, Gary. No, I know that, but there is another thing to this. You went at night? Did you go at night? Between 7 and 7 a.m. or 5 to 7 a.m.?
I think, did
Okay.
you state that you were on a Pleasant Valley ambulance,
you-
but Empress joined them?
Then it was during the hours that our duty crews are on. So what? Yes, it is, but they must have thought that it was important for you to have a paramedic on there with you. So because, for whatever issue you had, and that's where it came into play. Yeah, so. All right. Okay, I'd like to close a motion to close the public portion comment of the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
This time, I'd like a motion to go into executive session for 105.f personnel and attorney-client privilege.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming. It's 8:21. I'd like a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And same, 8:22, I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
So
Motion
moved.
to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.